We are off to Albania, officially checked out of Montenegro and starting our 120 nautical mile sail. After all the very strong winds we've had in Montenegro, there is absolutely no wind right now. So the sea is flat as a pancake and expect we're going to be doing a bit of motoring on the way.
Today marks 3 months on the water, and I've been paying a close attention to the chart plotter because it also coincides with our first 1,000 nautical miles, but I missed it. There we have 1,004 miles, and we are currently en route to Albania.
It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock on passage to Albania. We've had a bit of wind today, so we've done some sailing, which has been good. There's lots of large tankers and other boats on the route, so it'll be interesting for tonight to keep an eye out for them. But it's an absolutely stunning sunset, so really just sitting here relaxing. We've got some leftovers we're eating, which is pretty tasty, and really just preparing hopefully for a comfortable overnight journey.
We're in Albania. Sun's rising, my shift's just about to end. It's coming up to, I think, 6:30, something like that. Beautiful sunrise. I'm not very good with the camera. Albania looks pretty quiet.
Got a bit roused on last time we were on passage because I didn't take any video, so rectifying that now. I've just got up. I've had 3 hours off my shift and Chris has been on watch. Had a relatively uneventful watch last night. It was a beautiful night full of stars, really clear. You could see a lot of stuff in the sky. You couldn't see much around in the water, but luckily there was no boats anywhere nearby, assuming that Albania is not really a hot tourist destination, so no ships came anywhere near us. Just cruising along the coast now, and then we'll be checking into the marina for 4 days. So we picked up a hire car and we are driving north from the marina to a place called BareFeet for tonight, and then tomorrow to Tirana, which is the capital. Today is Saturday and the roads are packed because everyone's heading to the beach. The driving standards here are, let me say, pretty suboptimal. We've had many cars almost hit us.
I just played chicken with a car that was directly in front of me, and it was a young girl driving a brand new Mercedes, and I didn't give any ground at all, and we basically just almost ran into each other. She just got pulled over by the cops though, so it's good to see the cops doing their job here.
We've already been pulled over by the cops also within the first 15 minutes of driving. The kind police officer showed us that we need to turn our lights on here in the middle of the day. So I think it's going to be an interesting drive, and hopefully we will get there in one piece.
Hello, so we've just spent the last 2 nights in a beautiful place called BareFeet in Albania. It's a very historical old town with roots dating back to the 2nd century BC, I think, or the 4th century BC. Christians and Muslims have both lived here peacefully with one another for centuries. So the place is a mixture of churches and mosques, and we had 2 days off the boat, which was fantastic to celebrate 3 months of being at sea.
Stayed at this awesome little boutique hotel called Hotel Azumi. The staff there have been fantastic. It's right in the middle of the old town. We really enjoyed staying there for a couple of nights. So thanks heaps guys, you've been very welcoming. Thank you for all the helpful tips that you've given us for BareFeet and Tirana, and for sharing your fabulous hospitality with us.
Now we're heading off to Tirana, Albania's capital, to go and check out some Cold War nuclear bunkers and learn a bit more about the communist past of the country. Listen to the Albanian cable car. A word combination you probably wouldn't think of.
Well, I hope he doesn't crash.
Oh, even this scares me.
We were going to spend the night in a little anchorage down on the south coast called Grama Bay, which is supposed to be a really gorgeous bay, but when we got there was a lot of wind, a lot of swell, and it was quite a small bay, so we thought it was a bit too dangerous. So we powered on to a small place called Port Palermo. So Port Palermo has a lot of history in Albania. It has a lot of military significance. So when Mussolini was coming and invading before the Second World War, he used to land all the submarines here. So there's a massive military base in one end of the harbour, which you still can't go in. There's lots of bunkers, which you see all over the Albanian coastline. And on the other side, just behind me on the hill, up there, is Ali Pasha's fortress. So that was built in the 1820s. Some really fascinating rooms in there. There's a big room which all the harem were kept for obviously entertaining the Pasha, and also a prison. So this was used as one of the prisons during the communist regimes, the 50 years that communism was in place in Albania. This was used as a prison, an internment prison for people who were dissidents of the communist regimes. Really tiny, dark cells, and would have been quite a horrendous place to be locked up for 50 years. This has also been one of our less glamorous moorings, shall we say. So we came here late last night. Luckily some locals helped us moor, but basically we're moored against this giant concrete block, as you can see. Definitely not built for boats. There's a lot of nasty, sharp things sticking out. Off today to South Albania, well, South Albania, to a place called Saranda. We're going to be there for a couple of nights before we check out and head to Italy. Okay, so we've just left Port Palermo a little bit early on our way to Saranda. Probably about a 3 to 4 metre swell, so we are being pushed downwind, down the waves. It's a bit of an interesting experience. Chris is loving it, I'm a bit nervous, and I've also just got stung by a bee, which I thought was quite rude. It's my second bee/wasp sting for the trip. But fingers crossed we get there soon and that the sea state doesn't continue to build.